It is a difficult spot if you have been arrested and now you have to explain your arrest to your employer, or you potentially have to explain this situation to a potential employer because you're out there looking for jobs while you got this thing pending. I have some suggestions for you. And first of all, you have to be honest with these folks. That's pretty obvious. But like I tell you so many times, even when you're dealing with cops, you still have to keep it short and sweet and not say much to these folks, okay? I don't want you getting into a big dialogue about your pending case. I don't want you really talking to anybody, not the cops, not the employer, et cetera, et cetera. As your attorney, I'm always happy to write a letter to your college or to your employer to explain the situation. Your attorney, whoever you hire, will probably be ready to do that too. You also have to answer questions honestly. So on these job applications, sometimes they will say, have you ever been convicted of a crime? I don't know that, but just because you've been arrested, that's only pending. You're presumed innocent. So if that's your only situation in life, you can tell them you've never been convicted of a crime. That's 100% true. You got something pending. I hope it doesn't lead to conviction, but you've never been convicted of a crime before if that's your only case. The second issue, of course, is sometimes, and this is not a very legal question, very few employers are legally allowed to ask whether you have ever been arrested before. That's a pretty deep question. That you're going to have to answer, yes, you have been arrested. There are lots of ways that you can address your employer that are going to emphasize that you're presumed innocent and that you're fighting this and that it should all be over quickly. I write little letters. This is something like what I write. If you want to write this to your employer, you would say this: I want to be upfront with you. There's currently a legal matter pending that I'm working through. It's a charge that I strongly dispute, and it's very early in the process. I have legal representation, and I'm fully confident this is going to resolve fairly. In the meantime, I'm committed to my work. I'm committed to you guys and my coworkers, and I'll keep working hard for you, etc. That's to a current employer. If a potential employer wants to hire you, I usually recommend a letter from your attorney, because I have a little different wording when it's coming from me, because I will emphasize that you are presumed innocent. I'm going to emphasize that I think we're going to get you out of this, or a bad arrest, or you're just completely innocent, and we'll flush it through the system. However we do that, I like that letter to come to me, but sometimes you can go to your current employers yourself. That's how you handle this sort of situation if you are looking for work, or if you are already in work in a job but need to address them. A lot of employers have rules about what to do if you are arrested. So you're going to have to look at your handbook or talk to HR in some secretive manner so they don't figure out it's you, because you do want to follow their rules, because I've seen some of my clients get fired just because they didn't follow their rules. But I've also seen some of my clients, I had a client that he works for a large alphabet government agency, and I think he has to swipe his card like 10 times to get to his desk, right? And that's how important you are in the government. If you have to swipe 10 times to get to your desk, something's going on there. And he's a scientist and he's very good at certain scientific things. He got a serious felony. We worked it. He still got punished a little. The government did not fire him from that position. I've seen people fired from McDonald's for less, okay? So how you and your employer work it out, how important you are to them, how good of a job you do for them, all that factors in. How honest you are with them, about how open you are with them about the situation, but without giving them too much information. There's my 2 cents.